And it keeps the Zerg essentially in its base while having to pump more units.
Yeah, it makes them replenish their drones, make more units, stop them from steamrolling. Basically, you want to stop the wave from coming, and you do that. Yeah, exactly. Because when it comes to the point that they have 200 supply of hydras, it's too late. That is the too late point.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to attack with infantry early enough that they still have not that many hydras, a low supply army. Around the time they have 80 to 100 supply, come in with a 80 to 100 supply of infantry, drop it, kill as many drones as you can, move on, kill as many more drones as you can, maybe engage your army a little bit, go back, they have no income, you have a lot of income still, make more units. So then they have to catch up to you again, and they will because they're Zerg and they can do that very easily. So they catch up to you again, you're about even again, come and do the same thing again, harass their drones again, and fight them that way. So it's still the same thing where it's all about the drones.
Yeah. The tougher part of this kind of build is playing a mirror matchup where if you're Zerg, you're going against this kind of build. And I'm not sure if I'm the best to talk about it because it's only occasionally that I've come up against mirror matches with somebody doing a very strong economic build. I have played Feint a few times on it, and he has pretty much destroyed me with that build.
Yeah.
But the reason he destroyed me was exactly what you're talking about, in the sense that the same mistakes Grog made in the first game of like, I see he expanded, let me pump up my army a little bit, let me just go in there and break him.
Yeah.
And that does 9 times out of 10 that does not work out because the static defenses are just too
They're
powerful.
strong enough, and then you're doing exactly what he wants you to do.
You know, and so then you say, okay, well, he's going lots of hydras, let me go banelings.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'll try to sneak in, and the thing is, it's hard to sneak in at that point.
Yeah.
So even if you have banelings, you start killing off hydras. It's still the same point. The banelings are just wasted for you then because you spent all your economy on these banelings, and he had these hydras just there to be like, yay, I'm still investing in my economy. And so pretty much, you know, what I found is that you have to match the player.
Yeah, I can agree with you.
Yeah, if
That
he's
makes
going,
sense.
I mean, there's two options. You can try to go fast muta off one base.
Yeah.
One base fast muta and hope that your timing is faster than his.
Yeah.
So you get in there before he masses queens up or gets any kind of hydra force.
Yeah.
And just start taking drones out, or match his economy, go base for base, drone for drone, and slowly just trying to be countering him throughout the game, gaining small advantages, understanding that like you need to protect your mineral line, and using the fact that he's using hydras or something to your advantage by making a few banelings, going a different tech route even sometimes. Yeah. It's a mirror matchup, so it's very hard to. It's hard to give direct advice on countering, except be quicker than him or match him and outplay him in that long economic game.
I mean, I have heard of a lot of Zergs talking about that you do a very fast Zergling and Baneling army.
Yeah.
And that you use the Banelings to try to kill as many, like really fast, like very early. And then you use the Banelings to try to kill as much economy as you can, as much drones.
Yeah, use his Zerglings to occupy whatever units he has and whatever static defenses.
And I'm talking about this is coming about the same time in the game as like a normal Zealot push would come. So he doesn't have Hydralisks yet. He might barely have Roaches.
Yeah.
But
that's a very, again, if going that route is an option, but it is something you need to decide off the bat. You see that expansion go down, and it's like you're quickly just like, even before the expansion goes down, you need to be planning out that Bane. You need to have your gas coming in the right ways.
I mean, I think I've heard that it was a pretty solid build overall, even if they don't fast expand. But yeah, like you're saying, it's something you have to plan early. And like you were saying also, the other route is the fact that you're Zerg also, so you also have the power of larva.
Yeah.
So like you said, just go into the game planning, fast expand yourself, and hope that it's like normally you hope that you can make units faster than the other opponent, and that in any mirror matchup that you can produce faster than him and get in a slight advantage because you're just better. So you have to with Zerg, you just have to. I can macro better.
Yeah.
You have to go into the game and think, well, this is we're the same race. I'm gonna expand faster. I'm going to be more solid. I'm going to waste less larva, and I'm going to macro harder. Which is sort of like what you have to do in Protoss vs. Protoss. Like PvP, you have to, I'm going to get my gateway down faster than him, or I'm going to produce more consistently, or I'm going to get warp gate a little earlier, and I'm just going to make more units in him and roll over him.
It's the toughest, most stressful.
It's the hardest.
Thing
It's
ever.
the hardest thing to start because there's no
Yeah.
way to. There's no game to it. Like
Yeah.
you just have to
Be
be
better.
solid.
Yeah.
And but there's that. But there also are things to it. Like for example, I mean, there's things. Like, my vague words. But like for example, so in PvP, if I'm getting if I'm getting massive zealots from warp gates, there's counters to that. Like I could go for a really fast Dark Templar tech, and I mean like there's still sneaky things you can do, but like you can get banelings, you can do a baneling overlord drop. You know what I mean? Like you can drop banelings onto their mineral line. So there's room for that inventiveness as a player, but also I feel like overall it's one of those situations of there's no way to work around it because you're it already. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
One time, one do.
One time, one do. GG.